Everyone dies. Rich or poor, believer or atheist, scientist or philosopher. Death is the one certainty we all share. But here's the question that changes everything. What happens after? Is death just the end? Lights out, nothing more? Or is there something beyond? And here's the real question most people avoid. If there is something after death, does it matter how we live now? In this video, we're going to use logic and reason to explore what happens after death. Not based on blind faith or wishful thinking, but on rational arguments that follow from what we've already established. If you've watched our previous videos, you know the universe needs a creator, and that morality comes from God. Now let's follow that logic to its natural conclusion. Let's begin. Let's think about this logically. In our previous videos, we established two things. First, a creator exists. The universe couldn't have created itself. Second, objective morality exists. Right and wrong are real, not just opinions. Now, if both of these are true, something interesting follows. If there's a creator who established moral law, then morality must have consequences. Think about it. Why would the creator establish that murder is wrong, rape is wrong, injustice is wrong, and then do nothing about it? Look at our world. Evil people often die peacefully in their sleep, having lived long, comfortable lives. Good people suffer. Children die of cancer. Innocent people are murdered. If death is the end, then justice is an illusion. Hitler died quickly with a bullet. His victims suffered unimaginably. If there's nothing after death, where's the justice in that? A corrupt billionaire exploits thousands, dies old and wealthy. A kind nurse spends her life helping others, dies young in an accident. If death is just lights out, then the universe is fundamentally unjust. But we established that objective morality exists, which means justice must be real. And if justice isn't fully realized in this life, it must be realized somewhere else. This is the logical argument for life after death, not wishful thinking, not fear of dying, but the inevitable conclusion from what we already know. If God exists and morality is real, then there must be ultimate accountability, and that requires something beyond this life. So if there must be an afterlife, what does that afterlife look like? Let's examine the options logically. Option 1. Reincarnation. You die and your soul is reborn into another body, maybe as another person, maybe as an animal. But here's the problem. If you don't remember your past lives, how is this justice? Imagine you're suffering in this life because of something you did in a past life you can't remember. How is that fair? You're being punished for actions you have no memory of. That's not justice, that's arbitrary suffering. Plus, reincarnation doesn't solve the problem of evil people getting away with their crimes. A dictator who murdered millions gets reborn as, what? A dog? A beggar? That's not proportional justice. That's not accountability. Option 2. Nothing happens. You die, and that's it. Lights out. But we already ruled this out. If death is the end, then justice doesn't exist. Morality is meaningless, but we know morality is real, so this can't be the answer. Option 3. An afterlife of judgment. You die, and you face the consequences of your choices. This is the only option that makes logical sense. If God exists, and morality is objective, then there must be ultimate accountability. A place where justice is finally, fully realized. Not arbitrary, not forgotten, but proportional and complete. The good are rewarded, the evil are held accountable. This is what we call heaven and hell. Not because we want to scare people, but because it's the logical conclusion of everything we've established. God exists. Morality is real. Justice must be complete. Therefore, judgment, heaven and hell are not just possible, they're necessary. And here's what makes this even more profound. You're being judged by the one who created you, knows you completely, and established the moral law. not by another flawed human, not by an imperfect system, but by perfect justice itself. So let's bring this all together. Over 3 videos, we've established a logical chain. Video 1, the universe had a beginning, and everything that begins needs a cause. Therefore, a creator exists. Video 2, objective morality exists, and only a moral lawgiver can establish objective moral truth. Video 3, if God exists and morality is real, then justice must be complete. Therefore, an afterlife of judgment must exist. Now here's why this matters. If there is an afterlife, if there is ultimate accountability, then how we live right now has eternal consequences. Every choice you make, every action you take, every word you speak, it all matters. Not just for this temporary life, but for eternity. This changes everything. If death is the end, then eat, drink, and be merry makes sense. Maximize pleasure, minimize pain, and hope for the best. But if death is not the end, if there's judgment coming, then we need to ask ourselves, am I living in a way that aligns with objective moral truth? Am I acknowledging the Creator who gave me life? Am I preparing for what comes after? These aren't comfortable questions, but they're necessary questions. And here's the beautiful part. If we followed the logic this far, if we accept that God exists, that morality is real, and that judgment is coming, then it also means mercy is possible. Because a just God who judges evil must also be merciful to those who sincerely seek him. A creator who established right and wrong also provides a way to be forgiven for when we get it wrong. This isn't the end of the journey, it's the beginning. In future videos, we'll explore, what does this Creator want from us? How can we know him? What is the purpose of this life? But for now, I'll leave you with this. Logic has brought us to the conclusion that God exists, morality is real, and judgment is coming. What you do with that conclusion is up to you. If this video made you think, like and subscribe to The Reasoning Path. Drop a comment. What's your biggest question about life after death? I respond to every thoughtful comment. Thank you for thinking deeply with me. Until next time.